right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero video, and it's time. We are officially being asked to yap and give our feedback on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero after the first year of the game's life has officially concluded. And by first year, obviously I mean the game came out last October and we're at the end of the next year's November now. So the game has been out for 13 months at this point, and depending on what they ask and how they allow us to answer these questions, I have a lot to say. So in today's video, we're going to be taking the official survey for Sparking Zero for Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2, but odds are these are going to be very generalized questions and you're going to be able to, you know, speak about things even if you don't have the version on Switch or Switch 2. But this is going to be a 25 question survey, and don't worry, I'll have a link to this survey down below in the description box for you guys if you want to take it yourself and let your voices be heard for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. A little bit of word vomit right there. If you want to let your voices be heard for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I'm sure you guys have a lot to say as well. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, there's no reason to drag this video out. Let's go ahead and get started with the first question on the official survey for Sparking Zero on Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2. Alright, so the first question is going to say, please select the option that applies to your ownership situation with the official release version of Sparking Zero. If you were gifted or borrowed it from others, please select I own it, didn't purchase it myself. I was gifted the game and I purchased it myself. I own Sparking Zero like 5 different times. I have the I got the collector's edition literally sitting right beside me on my desk right now. I bought an official PS5 version, like the digital version on PS5 with the season pass, so I'd be able to, like, you know, get the early access and everything like that. I bought the Ultimate Edition on PC. I was gifted another version from Bandai. Shout out to Bandai for that, and also the Switch version. So I have pretty much any version of Sparking Zero. You can I select more than one? Am I able to select? Okay, no. So I'll just select, since I purchased it more times than I was gifted it, I'll just go ahead and select I own it, purchase it myself. Please select the option that best describes how you obtain Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for Nintendo or Nintendo Switch 2. I purchased it myself. Is that an option? I bought the game at retail price after release. Yeah. I didn't pre-order it. That I didn't feel there was a need to do that. So please select the device that you use to play. Okay, so Nintendo Switch, of course. Seems like we're going to be able to blaze through this pretty easily. Please select all the devices that you have played Dragon Ball Sparking Zero on, other than the one chosen in the okay, so PS5, PC, and I don't own any Xbox. If you played Sparking Zero on Xbox, let me know down below in the comments. I don't know what that side of the community feels about playing it on Xbox. I haven't owned an Xbox since Xbox One, so I don't really know what that console is working with at this point in time. All right, please select the option that applies to your situation with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I am currently playing it, or I have played it, but I'm not currently playing it. Honestly, I play like maybe twice a week now, outside of mods, I guess, because I am like frequently checking for new mods. I'll just say I'm currently playing it. Hopefully there's a free writing section that allows me to leave my own thoughts and everything like that. So please select who you have played Dragon Ball Sparking Zero with: friends, online friends, and randoms online. Actually, no, my brother-in-law actually does play, but I haven't played with him. I think matter of fact, he has an Xbox, so I haven't played with him. Hey, maybe, you know, through Tiny we could get that crossplay anytime today. You know, this was something that you had mentioned, I think around the time, maybe a little bit before the game came out, that they were working on crossplay. It was just going to take a while. You know, maybe whenever that actually does happen, I'll be able to play Sparking Zero with my brother-in-laws. They actually do play the game, they're just on Xbox. All right, so please choose your overall level of satisfaction. Oh, we're getting into the good stuff now. Let's go. Overall satisfaction with the game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being not satisfied at all, 10 being very satisfied. I think I can give Sparking Zero, after a year of playing this game, I think between PC and PS5, I'm not counting Switch because I played for like maybe 3-4 hours total and I was kind of done with it. I think I have like almost 600 hours between PS5 and PC. So I'm gonna say, with everything that I've learned and come to like and dislike within the game, I think I can give it. See, they always tell you if you're ranking something, you can't use 7 because everybody picks 7. But I feel like that's a fair number for this game. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comments. 7 is a fair number, right? I know, like, you're never supposed to use 7. That's a cop-out. But I'm gonna have to do it. I'm sorry, chat. I'm gonna have to do it. All right, please select all the features or elements you have experienced while playing. Online battles, of course, that's pretty much what I play now if I ever get on again. Episode battles, they need to update episode battles like as much as they do all the other updates. Now, obviously, I don't think that they're going to be able to update what is it, like 8 different episode battle storylines you can play in. I can't remember all the characters off the top of my head. Obviously we have Goku, Vegeta, I think Piccolo might be one, Frieza, Jiren, Trunks, Gohan. I'm missing somebody in there. They need to add more, I guess, events for episode battles. That's one of the gripes that a lot of us have with the updates that we get with Sparking Zero. There's no new customizations, episode battles. I mean, you play through all of those once, you get all the what ifs cleared, and that's pretty much done with. A custom battle does get updates every now and then, but it's really nothing groundbreaking. Obviously, if you're one of those gamers or even one of the channels out there that specifically focuses on custom battles, then that, you know, maybe those updates are significant for you. But for the general audience, they don't really make any difference. Gallery, I've taken a look at this maybe like all of 2 times in my career playing this game. Offline battles, I actually haven't played against another player like on my setup split screen, because I play, you know, at my desk with my monitors and everything like that. So nobody's really ever come in here and tried to play sitting right beside me because there's no room. Offline battles, local wireless, bringing consoles together, no. Split screen multiplayer, no. Tenkaichi Budokai World Tournament mode, yes. I think we've actually even done a couple of videos on the online World Tournament mode actually, and then we were in Afro's tournament as well. Super training, of course, gotta hit the lab every now and then. Missions, you really just go collect your missions. This isn't really anything to experience. If you do certain things, if you complete certain things, then you just go collect your mission rewards. And motion controls, that wasn't something that I even really cared about. All right, so please select one item from the following list that best reflects your satisfaction with the game Dragon Ball Sparking Zero in terms of each of the game's features. Online battles, ranked battles, player battles, etc. I'm actually gonna spend a little bit of time on this one, because even though we like to trash on certain aspects of online ranked, they're implementing a lot of adjustments to the game that I actually appreciate, especially when it comes to single battles. Single battles, they got rid of, I think, if you're using a character that has an effect that where they regain health upon transformation, they got rid of that. Everybody has equal health across the board in singles battles. And didn't they get rid of the scaling as well, or is that in DP? I can't remember which one it is. I would have to go pull up the recent patch notes. I think it was like within the last 2 or 3 patches that they did the majority of this stuff. Single battles are really fun, especially with the everybody has the same health across the board, and you don't get health back when you transform. This goes for characters like Frieza or Ultra Instinct Goku. I think Beast Gohan gets health back when he transforms. Characters like that, that's no longer a thing in single battle. So I do really like that aspect of it. A DP battle, they got rid of the scaling, the higher or lower your DP is. So the higher DP characters are going to be just stronger off rip than lower DP characters, making it so that a lot of people are just running teams with Beast Gohan starting out in base, you know, so you get the so you have a 4 DP character, I think he is, Ultra Instinct Goku, or the fusions, right? So that's pretty much what you're going to be seeing for the majority of your time in DP battle. Obviously, there are going to be players out there that are really good that can make use of the lower DP characters and still have a fully stacked team of like 3 to 5 characters. But you see that a lot less often now, especially with the changes to like after image strike and things like that. Some of the more cheesy abilities in the game have kind of been tweaked a little bit. They haven't outright been nerfed, because some of the nerfs to these abilities still take a little bit of skill. Like, I think for instance, after image and after image strike, I think they get canceled if you super counter or if you use perception. Not that perception takes skill, but that's just another way to counter those types of moves. So I think for online battles, I'm between neutral and satisfied. I'm not just, if you're put very dissatisfied, maybe you just know something I don't know, or you're a hater, I don't know. I'm between neutral and satisfied. Maybe I'll just go with satisfied. I'll throw them a bone, right? I'll put satisfied. I still really hope that there's a free write section so I can, you know, actually get my shit off later, but we'll see. Episode battles, this one I'm gonna be a little bit more harsh with, because I wish that they would update episode battles and give us more stuff to do. Episode battle, in my opinion, has no replayability. Like, I don't think I've revisited episode battle since the initial stream that we did the first night the game came out. Like, once I got, well, outside of that, I went ahead and finished the rest of the what ifs. After I finished all the what ifs and completed all the episode battles, there was no reason for me to ever go back and play this again. So because they still haven't updated this in any capacity yet, I would probably say I'm dissatisfied, if I'm being honest. Like, there's so much more that they could do with episode battle. It's just, I don't know. Tenkaichi Budokai World Tournament mode. This one, I think me being neutral on this is pretty fair. World Tournament is fun here and there. It's not the first thing that I run to when I hop online in Sparking Zero, because I just don't necessarily see the point in it if you're not playing, you know, with friends. You know how Afro was doing the tournament series back in the day with Sparking Zero when he had a bunch of his friends on. I think I was in the first one. So that's really fun if you're playing with friends or like other content creators. That is so fun to do. But if you're just hopping online, but it's not the first thing I run to when I hop online in Sparking Zero. Super training. I'm guessing this is just the lab. Yeah, I mean, the lab is fine. They could give us a little bit more information. I know this isn't like a standard fighting it. Like, this ain't Guilty Gear Strive. This ain't Street Fighters. So we're not gonna have like, this ain't Dragon Ball Fighters, right? We're not gonna have like frame data and all that stuff in the training room, but they could give us a little bit more data outside of like the all your regular meters and, you know, the damage and the combo counter and everything like that. They could give us a little bit more information on this. I don't really care too much. I'm satisfied, I guess. If they ever wanted to add a little bit more information to the lab, they could. If not, it doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. Missions. I mean, the missions that we get, like I've said this in videos before, and people agreed with me, but there were obviously people in there calling me like a hater and blah, 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 blah. When we get missions in this game, it's pretty much like every other reward we get in the game. Like when the season changes over and everything like that, we get Dragon Balls, we get Zenny. Maybe we get, do we get capsules from missions? I don't even know. I know for the most part though, we get like Zenny mostly and maybe a Dragon Ball here there depending on what you do, right? Zenny is one of the most useless things in this game at this point in time. I really think that they need to go back and re-strategize, you know, give Zenny a meaning in this game, because I don't think, after I bought everything in like the first week of the game, there was never any point in having Zenny ever again after that. Like once you get all the capsules, once you get all the characters, once you get all the select customizations, like some of the alternate outfit pieces and everything like that, there's no point in having Zenny whatsoever. One thing that I really wish that they would do, that they promised us, mind you, I'm gonna keep bringing this up. I only bring up things that they promised us before, and then once the game released, radio silence. Crossplay, promise. Game came out, radio silence. The best customizations of any Dragon Ball game, promised. Game came out, radio silence. If we got more customizations, more items, more accessories for characters, things that actually give our Zenny meaning in the game, they can make all these items and customizations expensive as hell. Go ahead. All of us have like infinite Zenny at this point, so it would not matter. And Zenny is pretty, I won't say Zenny is easy to come by, because since I haven't ever really had to use it, I don't know if it's hard to come by. I've never had to spend any of it, so it's just there. For this reason, I was kind of getting a little bit sidetracked right there. I just had to speak on that. As far as the missions go, I'll be neutral on that too, because until we get stuff to actually spend our Zenny on, until we get things that we can actually like wish for more with Shenron and Purunga and things like that, I don't really care. Graphical performance. This is a very specific question depending on what you play Sparking Zero on. Since this is the Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2 specific survey, you know what, I am gonna cut them some slack here because I do play on Switch and not Switch 2. So for that reason, I'll just go with neutral. But if you want to factor in PS5 and PC, then this goes up to satisfied. But since the Nintendo Switch 2 is out and I can't really speak on that specifically, I'll just go straight down the middle with neutral. Localization quality, I'm just gonna press neutral for that too. All right, I don't even know what question this is anymore, but based on your experience, please choose the likelihood of you recommending Dragon Ball Sparking Zero to a friend or acquaintance on a scale of 0 to 10. I think I'm the most gamerest gamer that I know, so anybody else will play a lot more casual than me. I didn't recommend it to my brother-in-law. He just wanted to know if I could get him a copy. So, and they liked it. Him and my other brother-in-law, I think they still live together, so they're able to play like split screen and stuff like that. I'm sure that's a lot more fun than me just hopping online and trying to get some singles battles in. So for that reason, I'll say an 8. Please select all elements or game modes you would like to see added to Oh, we're getting down to it. Okay. Other elements or game modes I would like to see added to Sparking Zero. Oh, and they're letting me type too. Holy. All right, so let's just go straight from the top on down. Additional extra battles, they already know what we want. Additional playable characters, you already know. Background music, bro. I need the Tenkaichi 2 and Tenkaichi 3 OSTs added to this game. They do that, I'll pay like $30 for that OST pack. Additional story content, duh. battle stages. Yo, I'm actually getting irritated because they know we want all this stuff, and bro, they're kind of playing in our faces right now. I'm not gonna get on them too much. I feel like I don't even need to type anything right here because they literally know we want all of this stuff, and I have made multiple videos at this point asking for literally every single one of these. I don't think I mentioned background music as much because I feel like that kind of goes without saying. Xenoverse 2 has had OST packs multiple times at this point. But all this other stuff we talked about in excess. Please select all the following ways you saw or heard about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for Nintendo or Nintendo Switch 2. Let's see. Web banners and ads, YouTube ads, online advertisements, of course. Did Bandai stream anything? Obviously, they've uploaded like trailers and everything like that, which I've uploaded them myself. The rest of this stuff is just yada yada yap yap yap. Please select up to 3 sources of information that influenced your decision to play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for Nintendo or Nintendo Switch 2. I didn't need any influence. This is kind of, you know, my job. So I'm just gonna say none of the above because I'm a grown man. Please select all the reasons that apply to why you decided to play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm a Dragon Ball meathead. Is that an option? Dragon Ball meat. I'll just type it right here. There we go. I don't know what question we're on right now. I feel like we're probably coming towards the end. It's only 25 questions. We have to at least be halfway done. Please select the option that best reflects your feelings about the Dragon Ball IP in general. It's goated. Come on now. If you're even taking this survey, you are a die-hard Dragon Ball fan. Ain't no casual taking this survey. Come on now. Please select all Dragon Ball anime series and movies you watched. Bam, 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 bam. Moving on. Please select the first Dragon Ball anime or series you ever watched. That is an easy one, ladies and gentlemen. I started with Dragon Ball Z, then I went back and watched I started with Dragon Ball Z, then I went back and watched Dragon Ball, then GT, Kai, Super, Daima. Literally pretty much flipped Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, and the rest was just in order for me. Please select all game titles from the list below that you have played. Budokai Tenkaichi 1, yes. Tenkaichi 2, yep. I played the Breakers, but I don't think I played it enough to be like, yeah, I've actually spent time on this game. I think on my PS5, I have like 8 hours on this game, as opposed to like 540 on Sparking Zero. I mean, since I have played it, I'll go ahead and select it. Fighters, I have even more hours than Sparking Zero. Xenoverse 2, yeah. Legends, I was literally just playing before I started recording this video. Dokkan and Squadra, of course. Please select all the gaming devices you own. PS5, PS4 is around here somewhere. I don't own any Xbox right now. I sold my Xbox One way back in the day. PC, of course, Nintendo Switch, and that is it for me. Please select up to 5 of the following game genres that you like. Fighting at the top of the list for me. I'm still a shooting game fan. Management / simulation, not really my thing. Souls-like, I love me some Elden Ring, even though I still haven't beat Millennia. Don't fry me too much. I'll go back and do that someday. I just gotta have the time. All right, let's take this off and let's take those off. I think, yeah, that's 5. Okay. Please indicate your gender. I'm a male. Age. And the region. Obviously, we're in North America, and I think, wait, where is it at? Okay, there we go. Please provide any feedback on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, including any suggestions or requests that you may have. Okay. This is where I'm going to take a minute to actually write this out. I'm not going to be speaking as much, but at the end of whatever I'm about to write, I'll be sure to read it back to you guys, since it probably won't be able to display all of this unless it kind of stretches out a little bit. So I'll be sure to just read this back to you guys as much as possible, and then I'm pretty sure this will be the last question, as it gives us the prompt to send in our survey right here at the end. Hopefully they give us like some type of reward. I doubt it though. It would be cool if they gave us like a Squadra reward though, or something like that, since there's really no reward they can give us in Sparking Zero, unfortunately, which is kind of buns. But I'm gonna go ahead and write out my reply, and then that'll probably be the end of the video. All right, you guys, I'm done. But since I wrote quite a bit, I went ahead and just copy and pasted my whole diatribe right here on a Google Doc, so it'll be easier for me to read instead of just trying to scroll down in this little box that they gave us right here. I think they wanted me to write 2 sentences. No, I have a lot to say. Sorry about it. Let's go ahead and read through this. So I started off by saying Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is an extremely fun game that most Dragon Ball fans still enjoy to this day. However, there are still many problems within the game's mechanics and gameplay, replayability, reward system, offline content, and other promises that need to be addressed. For example, Offline content has been severely lacking updates since the first DLC, the Hero of Justice pack, that released with new custom battles and even a visible customization for Piccolo. 10 months later, this is the first and only time this has happened. Episode battle is lacking replayability once you complete the what ifs, and new ones should be implemented periodically. I'm not saying that we need new custom new episode battle updates or new what ifs every single time they update the game, but like maybe once every DLC would be cool, or once every season. That'd be pretty cool to me. Crossplay implementation is still a focal point that all characters or all players, excuse me, would like addressed, because it expands the player base and allows for friends to compete with one another in online ranked, player match, and tournament mode, which they are unable to do now. The game cannot and should not rely on retaining players based on the size of the roster alone and how many characters DLC content can provide, but making every other aspect of the game enjoyable as well outside of the online gameplay. I'm really trying to, bro, I want my offline players to have just as much fun and come back to the game just as much as anybody that plays online. That's actually really important to me, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like that side of the player base feels neglected, and rightfully so. Like rightfully so, and I don't think that's cool. One new stage in 1 year should be looked at as unacceptable when Dragon Ball has countless arenas where characters have seen battle. Some of the most iconic locations in the franchise are absent from the game. How is that? I hope this feedback can be taken into account, as we have been echoing these things and much more for months. And like the online changes, which have been mostly positive in my opinion, we hope that other aspects of the game can be adjusted as well. Now, I know I could have written an entire page on this little box right here, but I wanted to kind of condense it down to the most important things that I could think of off the top of my head, because I didn't like write down things before I started doing this video. This was just everything that I could think of off the top of my head. I know this could have been like 2 pages long if I had the time to really think about it and look at what other people were saying, etc. But this is how I'm feeling about the game right now. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and be sure you all go and submit your survey as well, just so we can get this on video. I'm gonna press send right here, and it's done. This concludes the survey. Thank you for your cooperation. Furutani, I hope you are taking all of this feedback into consideration. It is all just constructive criticism. We want Dragon Ball Sparking Zero to last as long as Xenoverse 2 did, right fellas? That's the point of doing things like this. We want Xenoverse 2 and Sparking Zero to both have lasted well over 10 years, right? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna do it for this video. I feel like this already went on way longer than I wanted it to, but that last part right there was really important. I was really hoping that they were gonna give us a free write section, and I did not hold back. But that is gonna do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check the description, and I'll probably pin it in the comments as well, for you to complete the survey and let Bandai know what you think and some things that you want to see improved about the game. Have a great day. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, my boys.